and Tarnations. This is the G&A podcast. For today, I am the offspring of two Somas who just were a little too closely related. Droobidoo.
And I am your friendly neighborhood Viking, Soberoni. God, I hope you're not doing that voice for the whole podcast.
Absolutely not. Welcome everyone back to another week of anime goodness.
The first full week of summer, actually.
The first full week, and we have lots and lots and lots.
So many anime to talk
episodes to talk about. So best strap in and strap on, and let's get started with Vinland Saga episode 1, 2, and 3. Shout out to all the gay people who got that strap on reference.
So I felt like, hey, we talked about this a little bit, like I felt like there'd be a lot more to say after 3 episodes than what we actually had to say, but there's not much to say. I mean, there is some stuff to say, but there's not a lot.
Yeah. Let's start by episode. I think that'd be
that's a good way.
Even though it's, I feel like we could cover it as like one giant episode, but
it should have been one giant episode, to be honest. I feel like this could have been one. You know, like when Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited works, like the first episode like an hour,
like 40 minutes or an hour. Yeah,
you can cut out like
definitely
a good amount of fluff from this and make it a 1 hour episode. But anyway, let's get into it.
So the epic, like 2-3 minutes of the show, where it shows one of the main characters, Thor's.
That's gonna be easy to remember.
Yeah, right. He just starts killing a lot of people. Very cool, nice action.
The only action you'll see for these 3 episodes.
For 3 episodes. And then it ends with him with everything on fire, and then we just cut to the year 1001, Iceland. Where it shows, or at first I thought, no. So at first I was like, oh, this is Thorfinn as a child. I thought the guy with like the blonde dude with the facial hair, I thought that was Thorfinn. I was like, oh, this is Thorfinn, like his past, and little did I know.
Nope. It was just the
it was just Thorfinn. It was just the Thorfinn.
So,
it was future.
The cast is pretty interesting. I love Leif Erikson. He's kind of like a bro. I like him. He's pretty cool. I love that it's using historical characters like Leif Erikson, and I think they mentioned another famous Viking from the Volks or Jord Vikings or whatever. But anyway, the main cast that we get, like I like the sister.
Oh my god, the sister's my favorite. She's easily my favorite character.
Yes, the sister is fucking perfect.
Literally the scene where she cries about he's literally in tears about she's like, oh my god, we lost our fucking sheep and he died right after. God damn it. Like,
she was just asking for a slave too, like right before it happened. Like, damn, we need a slave, Dad. We can't be shoveling snow. You thought your job was tough when you have to shovel snow off your lawn. Imagine fucking shoveling snow off your roof.
Sorry, she landed on that slave. So she had one for a couple of minutes, and then it died, unfortunately.
We get a lot of character development, like just these 3 episodes in total. There's like tons of character development, specifically for Thor's. And set up for Thor's. But like, I wish he was kind of the main character because I'm not a big fan of like. I'm sure there's gonna be like a time skip, and this kid's gonna be like 15 or 16 or whatever, and but right now,
like someone killed my father.
Oh yeah, this dude's definitely dead. Thor is like the most death flagged character I've seen in a long time.
%. They really weren't subtle with it at all.
No, I love that. The whole village is just like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a war. We're gonna go fight and die in a war. And Thor is just like,
fucking hell.
Fucking why? Why? Like there's that one scene of him like when the other Vikings are leaving and Thor's all depressed and everyone around him is cheering.
Yes.
We get to die.
Yeah. I love how, what's his face? Floki. Floki was the guy who was the blonde dude from like the first 3 minutes.
Was he?
Yeah, that's
It
the same
was?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, he was a lot cooler in the first 3 minutes than he was in the rest of the rest of these episodes.
Yeah. So apparently it's like England is like attacking the Vikings. The Vikings are like, yeah, we're about to go fuck them up. Fuck up some, I don't know. I don't know any word for derogatory term for English people. But
I was gonna say something, but I think it might have been more racist. I was gonna call them chips because of fish and chips.
they're chips.
I feel like that could work as a derogatory term for English people.
Those darn tea
Damn
drinkers.
chips.
Tea and biscuit buddies.
You know what this show actually does remind me of? Golden Kamuy.
Yeah.
Same studio, but just in general, like the fact that it's like a historical and it's all snowy and everything, just like the setting, the characters, it really screams Golden Kamuy to me.
At least for me, that's kind of the reason why it's kind of reasons why I like picked this one. I was just like, oh, it just seems like Golden Kamuy, just Vikings instead of Japanese people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. But yeah, so Floki basically blackmails stores. He's like, hey, if you don't like you're a deserter and you kind of broke the law, so either come fight in the war or we're just going to kill everyone. And he's just like, fine.
Yeah, and he runs off, has no choice. I like the like we get introduced to a few potential antagonists. Like we have Floki, which I think is gonna be like the main Arc 1 villain. We have the pirates he hired, but we also had that dude, what's his name? Han something with the fucking iron chain that just was so badass.
Oh, there are so many names.
By the way, don't expect us to remember names that are not like we struggle with Japanese names. We're not gonna fucking remember Viking names that are longer than one syllable.
Like Hanslin or Hansman or Han something. Halfdan.
Halfdan. Yes, that's 2 syllables. I can't remember that shit. Halfdan. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning like, is he gonna be a good guy? Because he doesn't seem too evil. He just kind of seemed like serious business.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's gonna like potentially like just show up and save the village, or if the Vikings show up again or whatever, Floki. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm actually really like whatchamacallit, the pirate dude, Asklad. I think he's gonna be a favorite of mine.
He was pretty dope. I love that scene where they throw the spear and it hits the dude behind the.
Yeah,
that was really badass. There's so many badass moments.
That scene was really awesome. Like that was like probably one of my, if not my favorite scene from like all the episodes.
Yeah. I think the main issue I had though is that the pacing is so slow. Like there's a handful of really, really awesome, amazing scenes, and I really like the setup and the characters, and I can tell it's gonna be good. It's just that it's slowly building to it, and there's a 3-week wait before we see the next episode. So I'm just like blue balled before the actual. I watched an hour and a half of not action, and right before the action starts, it's like, all right, tune in next time.
You literally only. This is actually only like an hour long.
Whatever. It felt like an hour and a half.
I'm just kind of upset. If you're gonna release them all, it needs to be the 4th episode. We need to see the conclusion.
Oh yeah, no, this is bad.
All of this.
This is bad. Don't do this.
Like in terms of like releasing anime, terrible. Like
don't do that. Yeah, either you go all in and you're like 3 episodes, and then the 4th episode the next week, or you can't just skip 3 weeks of anime.
It's not like we got even like a conclusion or an end to anything. It's like we're on a very obvious cliffhanger, which is like we like obviously what would make more sense if they like show the first 3 episodes where they show setup, and including the 4th one where it shows what I'm assuming Thor dying and Thorfinn being all like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, my dad's dead." And then the 5th episode, you see the time skip, and where
Yeah,
he's
something
all
like that. Like you make it like a little mini movie kind of, where it's just like,
exactly.
hey, we're gonna air this, and it's gonna give the whole backstory to that. That would actually be really cool if they did that.
Exactly, that's what I thought they were going to do, but then they just left it on the 3rd episode, and I'm like, wait, what?
No, as soon as I saw them getting ambushed, I checked the timestamp on the episode. I'm like, no, don't you fucking dare end this episode right before shit happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. So, my question to you, Oni, is like, should we hold this against them when we give them the score?
I don't want to, because it's like, well, first off,
Yeah.
are we gonna even fucking remember? Like, there's a 24 episode long anime.
Okay.
24 weeks from now, we're not gonna be like, wait, remember back in episode 1, 2, and 3?
Okay.
But
I just want to know if this is like a criteria to actually judge it on. I'm just like, I'm not so butthurt that I feel like I need to be like, because like the episodes themselves weren't terrible.
I'd say the pacing is something we could judge it on, because if it's gonna be like just like really slow, then yeah, I think we can definitely say like, okay, well, it needs to pick up the pace, because there's a difference between being slow and just being monotonous, and there's a lot of monotony in a lot of this. Like, there's a lot of fat that should have been cut from these 3 episodes.
Although I did like watching, I think episode 2 though was important because it showed how Thorfinn literally just became like a blood-hungry idiot child.
Yeah, I do think that was really important. Also, just it's not like, even though I'm like railing against the pacing of it now, I still really like the 3 episodes. Like the characters great. I know it's gonna have good action, so I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm here like, is this show gonna hold up? Like, I know it's gonna be really fucking good. So
yeah, like I didn't really mind the 3 episodes. I just think I just think they could have, whatever they're gonna do in the 4th episode, they could have included it in like episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, but until then, we'll just have 7 anime to watch. So.
Oh no!
I guess it was a good idea to make it 8 anyway.
Yep, we save ourselves. All right. We're moving on from one classical themed show to another one. Let's move on to Danmachi Season 2, Episode 1.
So this is a completely different from like Vinland Saga. This is like the exact opposite.
What?
Because they literally just like, in terms of pacing.
Oh yeah,
they just went right in immediately. Just go. It just felt very go.
Yeah, it was
very strong start for Danmachi.
Yeah, and do you remember the spin-off anime? Mm-hmm. Like, in my mind, I was trying to compare the two, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just so much better. Like, it just flows better. The character interactions are so much better. Eyes is better when she's not the fucking main character, just sits there for half the episode saying and doing nothing.
I can never think of a moment where I actually want to see Ice, but okay.
Well, at least she's fine. She's fine if she just shows up for like a minute at the end and dances or whatever. Like, I can handle that.
To me, that just makes her a prop.
She is a prop. She's very boring. She's a very boring plot device.
You can literally take her out and replace it literally with any other person, and it works just as well.
All the characters in the show are better, have more personality, and just like, the only thing Ice has is she's hot. That's the only thing she does. Well, she's strong, but
yeah, like, she's strong, and I guess she's hot. But it's like, okay, but almost everyone else is hot, and they are just better. Like, Hestia is.
I missed Hestia so much. I love my Hestia.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. So she's right off the bat, they pick a fight with the Apollo family. I love how the little kid is literally just mouthing off.
Yeah, more like the Apollo family picked a fight with them, because that kid's a dickhead. Oh, fuck you and fuck your party and fuck your god.
Yeah, fuck your everything. Yeah, I'm just like, yikes! Wow.
I'm so glad he got a fucking mug thrown in his face.
Yeah.
Bell got beaten up just like he always does. There's like some theme where Bell just always gets beaten up bloody. So I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was like, I feel like this is not going to end well for him. And the moment I saw that one dude in stand up, I was like, ah, here we go.
Bell's dead. End of season.
Oh yeah, and I totally the moment I saw Apollo, I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be an asshole.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. There was no subtle.
There was no
like build up to anything.
He was just like, nope, I'm here. I'm gonna do some shit, and I'm a bitch. Like, and making weird tongue faces.
He's doing his best Kakegurui audition. Yeah. He's like, oh, wait, I want to make it into the next season of Kakegurui real quick. Let me make my horrible Gamburu face and.
God, like I'm surprised he didn't like just like grab some girl's like face and like start licking her eyeball or something.
That's the next episode.
Right. Jesus.
Of course, my man Hermes is the best wingman. I love Hermes.
Yeah, Hermes great. Hermes' little act was really funny.
Freya shows up. I don't know if they mentioned it in the recap, but Freya in the first season is like the main antagonist. She's like the main puppet master behind releasing all the monsters to attack Bell and shit. So that's why she made that comment about the whole, I wonder if we could release Minotaurs and kill everyone here.
That's why I understood. Also, what's the name of the cat fox people? Fox dog?
You know, I don't know. Like their race, you mean? Or
yeah,
I don't know if they have a name for them. They're just cute cat person, dog person.
Okay, well, the Otaro who accompanies like Freya. I don't know. I just saw them two together. And I'm just like, oh man, he is definitely dicking her down.
Probably.
Oh my goodness.
Most likely. The overall though, I think the animation was solid. It was like a solid first episode because it introduced everything we needed to see. It had a good bit of all the characters getting their moment to shine. Hestia had a few moments where she was like freaking out and being awesome.
Wait, who's the name of the goddess with ice?
Loki.
Isis? Oh, that's Loki. Okay.
Oh yeah, they had their little bickering back and
forth. They had
a
bickering, but I feel like they never said her name. I was just like, say her name.
I don't know if they did or not. I think Hestia was just like insulting her.
Yeah, it was insulting. Yeah.
But it was a good episode. It was a good intro episode. I don't know what a war game is. I'm assuming it's something similar to just like we're gonna have our families fight each other or something.
Yeah, which I'm like, I don't know how that's going to happen when
Bell versus all my family together.
Yeah, so, I don't know how that's going to pop off, but sure, why not?
Yeah. So we'll continue to monitor that situation, but let us move on to another action-filled episode with Shouboutai.
Yes, and in the Shouboutai episode, I don't know why I put episode 1. It's definitely episode 2. Which is actually my episode of the week.
Oh, really? We might have some disagreement for this one.
I don't know. I don't know what about it was like so. I think it really like I'm really starting to feel the how you say I don't know, it's when people die in anime, like when there's like a situation and people are killed and we have to find out who did it, who done it, or take care of the situation, blah blah blah. I feel like this anime does a really, really good job at like showing the fact that like, hey, like when people die, like
people die when they're killed.
I was trying to avoid that so much.
I know. It seems like you were just trying to dance around that phrase for the longest time.
No, but like when people like die, like the ones they leave behind, it's like serious like consequences. This isn't the same thing as like in the show when people become like start combusting, it's like it's just a random phenomenon, and it can happen to like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like once it happens, like that's it. There's no saving them. There's no nothing. Like literally, the best case scenario is that their souls are put to rest by and they're extinguished. Like that's literally it. And it really hit me because like damn, this girl. Like, I really had to like it really fucked me up because I'm like damn, this girl was like crying. She's like first it's my mom, now it's my dad. I'm like shit. This girl's orphaned. Like she's actually orphaned. And for no reason. It's not like even someone like came in and like, ugh, like holding you up and like I don't know, like some Batman shit happened to her, or like they didn't get hit by car. They literally both of friends just literally combusted into flames by random chance. The fuck? And that's horrible.
I think you're right. It does a good job of like setting up this like existential crisis of like, oh my god, they can die at any time, and that's super frightening.
Yeah, and that's like what happened, and the horrible thing is that what happened in this episode with the people, that was like the best case scenario. That's the worst part. It was the best case scenario that the flame, like the inferno, just sits there and just like waits for death.
Yeah, and I really liked how they did that because it kind of shook up the formula of it's still a shonen show, so you're expecting every episode to just be like this monster of the week, like who are they gonna fight now, and especially because they introduced this new character, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a big fight scene, but it's not. It's just the dude is like, listen, just kill me before I go crazy. So that was really sad, and it did a good job of just shaking up that monster of the week style formula.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I was like, I don't know, that really hit me, and it, like, I don't know. It's really weird. I never had a show in the anime that really makes me feel like this.
Interesting. My issue with this episode, though, primarily is it just felt like, even though I just said I like the way it shook things up, it feels very shonen-y for me, like really old school shonen, which isn't necessarily a negative depending on whether you like old school shonen, but it feels like I'm watching Bleach or like Yu Yu Hakusho, something like that. Like it's very, very much old school shonen. Like the rival shows up. There's gonna be they announce a fucking tournament arc coming up later.
Yeah, that was like a little nose. I was like, oh, we're doing an arc already.
Why is there a firefighter tournament arc? Like, can't you guys just put out fires? So it feels like it's like, okay, they're setting up all these cliche shonen things, and I'm like, I just really hope that the show kind of does something different. Like it's not just going to be like I need to avenge my parents. Oh my god, I have a rival, and me and my rival are going to fight each other.
Yeah, another thing I simply wrote down. I'm like, I don't want to see that fucking flashback every episode. If I do, that's definitely going to influence my score for the show at the end. It really will.
The flashbacks are much. We get the point. We understand. He's the devil.
Yes.
We get it.
Yes. Devil, something happened to your mama and your brother died. Wah.
I really like Maki this episode. Like I like her as a character in general, but like her ability is really awesome of making the little fireball things.
Really cute little GB fires. I'm like, aww.
The guy keeps coming and putting them out and killing them.
Yeah, I like that. Even though she's all like, oh my god, I'm a girl, but no, it's not in that anime. I'll save that comment for Dumbell, but yeah, no, she was very much like a soldier when she needed to be. She was like, even though she was like kind of smitten by what's that dude, Arthur Boyle. I was like, really?
Yeah, really on the nose there.
First of all, this week was all about references. Like each anime, just like I think this is the thing that's happening in anime now, where they're just like not afraid to like reference to like things that people should know, like pop culture stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
very pop.
That's gonna be a big thing when we talk about Carole Tuesday.
Exactly. But it used to be just Carole Tuesday. Literally, besides Vinland, I think every other anime did something with it this week. Wait, where is my? Oh, there we go. There's the end chart. See anything else outside of that? But yeah, when she like fought them and she was just like beat them up and she she fucked up Arthur and she was like, yeah, don't disrespect like your superior like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, he was being unnaturally like Uh oh yeah, and then they showed like Obi and like how like Obi was like, I'm really chill, da da da, but then, which just once again ties into like the gravity of the situation. He's like, "Hey, dumbasses, I told you not to take your weapons." Like,
yeah, because it's like dramatic. You just see your firefighter like, "Oh, don't worry, we're gonna kill your father real quick with
exactly,
our axe and
like,
our sword."
Like, don't show your weapons in public, especially around like the relatives of the Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like actually like upset about that. He was like, if you can't do that, then you can't be on my team.
Yeah, get the fuck off my team.
Also, he's so hot.
Hot puns. But I do kind like my other major issue with this is I'm not really feeling the main character. Like I get because he's the main character, he's gonna be more bland or whatever, but he is really, really bland. Like I want him to have more of a presence and more of a personality.
I agree. I don't want. Which is another thing. Yeah, I don't want to just be like, oh my god, mom and brother died in fire, and I'm just gonna be all about it for like 24 episodes. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, which is another reason why I feel like this is kind of really old school style, because usually the main characters. So the old school shonen had this issue of like the main characters either super annoying and stupid, like Naruto, or they're just like really milquetoast, which is what we're seeing here. Which kind of like Ichigo in this. I don't think Ichigo's anyone's favorite Bleach character or anything like that. Where the supporting cast is just all better, and I feel like that's the issue here. Yeah. It's rare that we get like a shonen that has a really awesome main character like Yu Yu Hakusho, or what's the other show that we're there's another one. Oh well, I'll remember it sometime soon.
The American Joestar.
Oh, you mean JoJo?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen JoJo, so I cannot comment though, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, no, he's really fucking fun.
Yeah, so make your main characters more fun, make them more impersonable, and we'll pick up the score for the show.
Yeah. All right. Let us move on to Dumbell Nan-Kilo episode 2.
Ready to work out, Drew?
Okay, so let's just get the really, I feel like what is the main obvious issue about this episode, which I hope will not be a thing for the rest of the series. While I appreciate the workout tips, I really do, because I just learned how stretching can actually fuck you up before you exercise, so I will take that into consideration, even though I think I actually do stretch the correct way. Like, I do the little...
That was actually a very practical and helpful tip, so that was good.
The dynamic stretching, I get it. My problem is, all those tips literally consisted of more than half the episode, and I'm not okay with that.
I get where you're coming from. Like, I don't want the tips to be like, the episode formula to be like, here's a new workout tip, and we're going to dedicate this whole segment to this workout tip. It can work, but it not such a straightforward way.
Yes, like you have to make it funny, or you have to make it like comedy etchy, like something like that. You cannot literally just
like it worked in the first episode because they were self-referential about it. Like, whoa, what is this super random sexy workout pose that we're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Like stuff like that.
That works, but you can't just literally just be like straightforward. That's how you do it. And...
yeah, it has to be something a bit more creative than that. And I think this episode kind of it's not that I didn't like it more than the first episode, and it just kind of felt bland to me. Like I'm trying to struggle to remember what happened. I remember the last segment because that was my favorite part with the gym, the boxing gym.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am more than happy to remind you what happened.
Mm.
Basically, Hibiki gains weight, but then.
Yeah, her shitting eating habits.
No, not even. It's just that she's building up so much muscle, but she doesn't realize like it's muscle as opposed to fat.
Mm.
So she looks slimmer, but she still weighs the same.
Mm.
And then they talk about working out more, and they do like the joke with like the protein bar, like it's like a protein bar, and he's like making protein shakes. Like,
actually, that'd be a really cool idea. I want to know if there are gyms that actually have a protein bar and you can order different. That'd be awesome. Do that, gym. Do that, Planet Fitness.
I feel like that happens. I feel like, but those are like probably like more expensive gyms.
Mm.
Let's see. Yeah, and then they go swimming for exercise on Sunday.
I actually like that segment where she's trying to deduce all their sports just by their physique. I found that kind of interesting.
That was interesting. Kind of weird, but interesting.
She could apply as like a she could apply for our next show that we have to cover with Weaver. She could work alongside him.
But yeah, once again, they're like, oh, let's talk about dynamic stretching, da 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 da, and then at the end, it's like the plot joke that like during said dynamic stretching, her swimsuit rips, which is like I was like that was too much setup for like such a.
You know what would have been really good though
joke.
if they did that and they didn't just end the scene there and it actually like was the theme of the scene.
They needed to cut the dynamic stretching in half and further extend on the swimsuit ripping. That would have made that section so much better.
You had a good like setup there, and you just kind of dropped the ball on it. You were like, "Oh, it's our swimsuit rip." Okay, and that's it.
And next scene.
Yeah, nothing more to elaborate on here.
Yep.
We gave you the workout tip.
And this anime's pop culture reference is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Of course, every anime has to have like their Arnold Schwarzenegger reference and the Expendables reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rambo, but I'm like that is the wrong person. But yeah, so they have that where he's like in a movie, which leads us to like the third part, where out of nowhere her friend Ayaka like ran like a boxing business.
Yeah, she's like a world-class athlete boxer.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, we train world athletes. Like, ugh.
And of course, we got the plot twist at the end where apparently Hibiki's just one punch man in disguise.
Literally punches the sandbag off. I'm just like, okay, I guess the working out's been doing you some good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. She's one punch man. She knows. She did a couple pull-ups here, a couple push-ups there. There we go. She's the strongest in the world.
Makes me wonder if what's the girl's name? Was it Sayorin?
Akemi? I just call her Akemi.
Yeah, Akemi. Yeah, I wonder how hard she can punch it then. She just like punches the window. Punches like the wall.
The last episode is gonna be a fucking DBZ style fight between the two of them. Just like breaking through mountains and shit.
Oh no!
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing the other characters come into play. Like we got a little bit of Ayaka. There's another girl that appears in the opening where she has like white, silverish hair. She looks really fun. If the show goes down that road where it's just more of a comedy instead of just being like, here's your educational tip of the day, I think it could be really good. But this episode was just, like you said, too much education and not enough comedy.
Yes, I agree. Because I said it.
Exactly. Are you going to disagree with yourself? I think not.
Alright, well, that aside, let's go into what I'm assuming is Oni's episode of the week.
You know it.
Lord El-Melloi, the second episode 1.
Episode 2.
2, yeah, what you said.
Technically episode 3 if you want to count the episode 0, but whatever. Anyway, episode 2. So, I love this episode, and I love this show, and I'm not just saying that because I am super biased because God knows I ripped apart Last Encore and Apocrypha on this podcast. You know, this is the first time we have a Fate show on this podcast that we don't rip apart. So I'm
Yeah,
happy.
actually.
So I'm happy we finally got something good. And I love our. This feels like what Umineko and should have been. This is just sci-fi, or not sci-fi, fantasy mystery. The show, and I absolutely fucking love it.
My I wouldn't say it's like a problem. I wouldn't count this like a problem. It would just be maybe the fact that it like you have to. I feel like I have to really take notes on what happened to say what happened.
It's unless I want to. There's a lot of stuff going on.
No, it's not even mystery because with Magecraft, it's very complicated. They make Magecraft way complicated in the series, in like the whole world of Fate Stay Night for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the detail they went into it. Because it's like, I couldn't even begin to like explain to you
half of the things they were talking about.
Exactly, like, they're astromancers, their house represented the cosmos, something was done and split the guy in 7 pieces.
I'm gonna chalk all that stuff up under magical bullshit and not read too much into it because that's not like the. But this is definitely a show where
it just makes me sad that I can't go into detail about it when we're discussing it. That's my only complaint.
I get that it was just like the body parts represent the different planets, and they thought he was working with a geocentric model, but he was working with a heliocentric model.
Yeah. Also, the other thing that I just like, I feel like, I guess it's episodic, but I was able to figure it out very quickly.
In what sense that you knew that how, to what degree? Like you knew,
like I knew he was the one who did it.
Oh, like I kind of figured too. Like he probably killed himself for some magic reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I didn't figure out was the whole element of, and I think the bigger twist was the whole element of the daughter knowing what happened and just kind of being like, well, let him kill himself.
Oh yeah, that was
and her being with her maid. So that was a nice little twist of the
her being with her maid. That's a stretch. They just held hands.
Romantic relationship with her maid.
They just held hands.
I mean, what do you want to show them sleeping with each other?
No. No. Me and my friend had a very long conversation, and I'm tired of people kind of like doing the whole like, oh, we're kind of implying that they're kind of gay for each other. No, unless they literally say, God, I'm gay, or they kiss, or they hold each other.
It's called subtlety. It's a mystery show. It has to be subtle. It can't be like,
I've held your hand before. Does that mean we are having sex?
I mean, you never held my hand after, like, my father was just killed because he abused you. It's very much implied in a subtle way that they have a thing for each other and that they're with each other. They don't just randomly hold each other's hands like that in that situation.
So
and that's her motive. That's why he was talking to her like, "Oh, why did you do it? Why done it? Blah 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 blah." And it's clear that they even said it earlier, like, "Oh, it's clear that me was abused, and Mary knew about it, and this was probably what she did to get."
And she couldn't do it because she was also essentially enslaved to that house. Mm-hmm. She literally could not escape.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Here's the point that she killed her."
It makes perfect sense that the two are so close because they have something to bond over. In fact, they were both held hostage by the same damn maniac who is now dead.
And they're both in love with each other. So I don't know.
Oh my god!
I mean, are you debating? Are you debating that that's not the intention of that scene, or are you just saying like, I wish there was more to it?
I'm saying that they do not explicitly say
they don't. They're not going to because it's subtle. It's a subtle thing. It's not like they're gonna beat you over the head with it. It's a mystery show. All right, if this was like If this was a shoujo anime, if this was like Yuri, if this was Yuri on Ice and it ended with just them holding hands at the door, then I'd be like, yeah, that was fucking stupid. But if it's a mystery show where the whole point of it is to be subtle and look for clues and everything, then yes.
I'm going to believe then that's not.
You're gonna hate this show then because everything's gonna be fucking subtle as shit. Everything's gonna be like, oh, did you hear the way he phrased that word?
Okay,
that means
I'm literally going to find every anime where all the girls hold hands. And
obviously, you're moving the context. You're removing the context. You're removing the context of the show.
The girls had a whole series and they learned about themselves and whatever.
Oh my god!
At the end of the rainbow, they're holding hands.
Is that your gripe with this episode that there was not enough Yuri in it? There was not enough Yuri. That's your complaint.
I'm not saying it needs to have Yuri, but I'm not also going to sit here and say,
it was
oh my
cute.
God.
It was a nice little revelationary moment.
It was a cute moment. I'm not saying it was bad or whatever. I'm just not going to let anyone say, oh yeah, that clearly they're now in love and going to get married. No.
I didn't say get married, but that was clearly the intention of the scene, was to show that they are in a relationship with each other. No, that was very clearly the intention of the scene. Clearly
it's not, because they're debating it so hard. No, I don't want any stupid subtleties.
It's subtle. What do you all right? Did you want them to like zoom in when Lever left and then just like making out on the porch or something? Like it's subtle. It has to be subtle. Otherwise, it's too on the nose.
What's too on the nose about two women liking each other?
Because it's supposed to be like a moment where the audience is like, oh, I see. Not a moment where it's like telling you what's going on. The whole point is that you can infer for yourself what's going on.
Or it could have been a moment where two former slaves are like, oh my god, we're free, let's hold hands.
That's a silly interpretation of that.
That's
scene.
Not a silly interpretation. That's actually can happen. It literally has solidarity through trauma. That's an actual thing that happened.
Nothing was implied that they have solidarity through trauma, though.
What do you mean that nothing happened? They both clearly hated the man.
Okay.
They both clearly did not like this person.
Okay, and they're both clearly all right. Here's the thing. Holding hands in that way is very suggestive of them being romantically involved. That was clearly the intention of the scene. That was what was meant to be taken away from it. You're trying to read into like something that isn't there because it's too subtle, and it's like, oh well, now I can extrapolate all these different things when this is clearly what was intended for it to be.
All I'm saying is that it's not. First of all, no. I don't want to say it's. You can say it's implied, or it can be implied. Fine, I'll agree that it can be implied.
It's heavily implied. It's heavily implied.
I don't say it's only intention. If I can argue this hard for it, then I don't think so.
Oh my god, I can take anything from this show and argue for it because it's a vague show. That's the whole point of it. It's going to be vague and open to interpretation, but it's still leaning. Or fine, I'm going to interpret it. I'm going to interpret that the necromancer was fucking the father because they were both working together and like.
First of all, you can't. I don't think that makes much sense that they'd be like, oh yes, yeah, you have to also imply, like you have to also like use your logical deduction and see that they were like lesbian for each other, even though the whole case has been solved and say the end of the fucking episode.
Because that was the whole point of why the Waver's question. Why did you do it? What was the point of this?
She did it because she wanted to be free. I can literally answer that without them being lesbians, which is my whole point. I can literally come up with an actual reason.
And then what's the point of them holding hands at the end then?
Like I said, they literally spelled solidarity through trauma. They're like, oh my god, we're free.
Why are you so against their love? Why do you not want them to be together?
I don't mind if they're being together. It's just like either explicitly show the gayness or don't. I just don't like that. I personally do not like that. Period. And I know that
I'm totally gonna do this now. I'm gonna hold it.
Holding hands isn't enough.
When Toru and Kyo kiss in Fruits Basket, I'm gonna be like, why didn't they just bareback fuck each other on the spot? I don't like this. I don't like when anime doesn't go all the way and show me that they actually fuck. I don't like this.
No, Yuri and and the thing is, you know exactly what I'm talking about because
Yes, I get what you say. I get like that when it's an actual shonen eye or like shoujo eye.
It's not shonen eye.
But you have to give them room.
I know. It's not shonen eye.
it's heavily marketed as, hey,
It's
this is,
as,
and that's not what this is.
Not.
This is not that. This is great. Case Files is not being like, hey, this is gonna be a show with Yuri in it. Like, no, this was just a thing that was like, oh, that's a cute little scene, and it gives you,
if it's not even,
it's not bait. Let's put it that way. It's not baiting you.
Okay, well, if it's not baiting me into anything, then I have every reason to not believe they're being lesbians.
Ugh.
Just saying.
Ugh. Way to ruin a nice twist ending. Way to ruin it. Thanks, Drew.
If it even exists.
It was the case. Now you're just trying to start a Steins Gate Zero situation here. As for the rest of the episode, I don't know how ambiguous it was, but Gray has abilities to fight. Might be open to interpretation or not, but she does have the ability to fight and barely speaks some English.
Oh yeah, that was really. I enjoyed that scene where she can find everything. I'm getting some. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting some very serious Saberface vibes.
Yeah, she's definitely a Saberface.
Yeah. Okay, that wasn't just me. Okay, cool. And they're like, "Oh, we saw her hairstyle. Put the hoodie back on." I'm like, "All right."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, the episode was good. I like the pacing was fine. It's very like. It
reminded me a lot of like just like Sherlock and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the fact that he smokes and.
I'm just gonna call this anime Sherlock.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you aren't a big fan of it, because this goes a lot more in detail with the magic and the world of Fate than
which I don't mind. It's just
I
can't regurgitate that to you guys in like in a more condensed form. Like there's no way for me to do it. They just do too much.
Although I do hope it becomes less episodic. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the episodic nature of the series. Like, I do want there to be some kind of overarching plot, preferably.
I'm sure they'll probably do something around like episode 3 or 4.
Probably. But like I said, I do like that even though I was able to solve the mystery pretty quickly with like, oh, it's magic, he probably did it himself for some ritual. I do like the little twist at the end of like, oh, his daughter knew and she just didn't do anything to stop him because she fucking hates him.
Yeah, that was a good twist.
And
whether they're lesbians or not.
She's lesbian.
Whether
she is a lesbian.
Regardless of her being lesbian or not. I'd be fine either way if she was.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, let's move on to another show which may or may not have lesbians in it. Joushi Kousei no Mudazukai, episode 2.
For some reason, I really hope you were going to say who Carole Tuesday.
No, that's definitely lesbians in there.
Oh god, this anime.
I don't know how to feel about this anime. I honestly don't. I read talking about this show now because I'm just like, it was an episode, and I don't know if I liked it or like. I liked some parts of it, and then other parts were kind of like, what?
I liked basically like every scene with Wuta.
Yeah, well,
like, it was a very Wuta. Yeah, it was very Wuta.
Which was like half the show, half the episode. Yeah. So
very Wuta heavy episode. It was very, very funny. And this anime's pop culture reference was when in her dream when she's like dreaming of her like character fighting, she uses her Panasonic attack, which is a reference to Panasonic.
The Panasonic. Also, the if you notice in the background when she's drawing, she's like playing a Dynasty Warriors game on TV.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So that was dope.
Yeah, a lot of scenes. Oh, I remember. That scene where she like has like that super kawaii look on her face.
Yes, that was fucking great. And she's like speaking that really cute squeaky voice.
And then she looks at like the two teachers, and she's like, nah, I can't see those two being together. That's a little too high in difficulty. And then she's like, B and L eyes, and I'm just like, oof. Oh, this hurts. This is reminding me a little too much of me in high school.
I think for some reason the funniest scene for me, or one of the funniest, was when she's like, all right, time to get started on working and making progress on my work or my hobby, and then like the next it's like skips over and she's just sleeping on her bed. I'm like, oh, that's too fucking relatable.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's literally us.
I sit down, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm gonna work on this video real quick, and then just sleeping. I'm like, how did I end up in bed? She's very relatable. I actually really like her personality because when we first did the first episode, I think we commented on like she's apparently an otaku, but she doesn't show any like otaku like stereotypes. But then this episode was just like, oh yeah, here she's definitely an otaku.
Yep. She's a mangaka who loves BL. I'm like, yep, that couldn't be any more straightforward if she tried.
I just like that it's kind of a more realistic take on it because it's like, yeah, she's a heavy otaku that's into all this stuff, but when she's at school, she's still just like a normal girl. She's not like reading manga or whatever in class and doing crazy shit.
You know what this episode like reminds me of? This anime is reminding me so far. This reminds me of like The Office, but
oh, you're right, but like a school setting.
But like maybe like the UK, maybe the more UK version. It's a little more dry sometimes.
Yeah, it's very dry and not as over the top as the US version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like the homeroom teacher, you know, where he's like kind of being like really like weird comments to the girls, like, why is your skirt so like high and whatever. And then she like kind of makes like a joke to try to like get away from it. And then he says something else, like another girl. He's like, "Oh, why is your hair so blonde?" And then she like kind of makes another joke, and then he just looks at Baka, and he's just like, "Don't give up.
Keep doing your best." I like how they call themselves by their nicknames constantly too, like Baka, Robo, Wota. Yeah. They just don't drop the nicknames. That's like their actual names. Like I'm forgetting what their names are. That's just their names now.
Yeah. I still remember Baka's name being Tanaka because I'm just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about calling you Baka all the time, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Definitely calling her Baka all the time.
Yeah.
She didn't have much of a presence this episode. She didn't do that much.
She did. But I don't know, I still liked her. Even in the background, I thought she was fun. Like, remember, like, the whole day where, in the beginning where Wota is, like, trying to, like, work. And then you just see Baka in the background sending her selfies, and she's just like ignoring it, so she just throws the phone.
Yeah, this show is it's very dry, and sometimes it goes into over the top territory. Like they did the whole parody where her dream sequence, and she can't draw people with knees. Like I thought that was a stupid fucking joke. People's knees don't bend.
That was really funny.
And so there's like all these little weird. Yeah. It's just such a weird, unique type of comedy.
It really is. Oh my god, when she goes through like memory lane, she criticizes her first manga that she drew in elementary, and she's like, "Holy shit, this is like, she's like this weird cat thing I drew. Like,
it doesn't show up in any other
scene." She's like, all these buildings look like chocolate bars. The girl's folding one of the buildings in her hand.
And I think that cat joke is a meta joke because there's a cat. That cat appears in the opening, I think, but it doesn't appear in the show outside of that one instance. So I think that's just like it's weird. It's just a weird show. It's like super self-referential and dry humor. That's like Robo's critiques on her manga were also really like. She's reading way too much into it. Like, the perspective is fucked up. And she's like, does your character have a power to draw in objects to closer to her? And she's like, no, I just fucked up the perspective.
Yeah. No, it was very, very funny. The end scene with Yamamoto, a.k.a. the blonde chick. I don't know what her nickname is, but it's just showing, like, he's just asking her about, like, these doodles in the back, and she's just, like, giving this over-the-top, like, I don't even know how to describe what she's doing. Like, she's, like, one of those, like, oh, I'm the something of darkness, or something is coming to give me powers, and...
Yeah, she's another character that's just kind of out there.
Yeah, and then the home teacher Waseda is like, like... he's like, all right, sure, whatever, okay, like he's like trying to go along with it, but like not too much. He's like, okay, he's like, I'm losing you. I need you to come back and come back to planet Earth.
It's funny because the homeroom teacher might be one of my favorite characters, just because he's so. One scene he's being like a legit teacher, like there, like, all right, we need to figure out what's wrong with your grades, and then other scenes he's ranting about college girls and stuff. Like, he's just such a weird character.
Yeah, he feels really. Yeah, he feels like a real person to me.
A lot of these characters feel pretty realistic in a sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really happy we went with this anime. It's just so weird. I feel like when it comes to slice of life stuff, I feel like it needs, like, it can't get any more boring than this. I'm not saying this anime is boring, but you know what I mean. Like, if it's more boring than this, I don't want it. I don't want it. Senko-san, no, I don't want that.
I hope this doesn't end like Senko-san. The last two episodes are gonna be super dramatic.
They could not do that. No. I don't even know how they could do that with this setup.
I don't know how they did it with Senko's setup, but the this is a really unique show. I still don't know how to feel about it yet, but I do recommend watching it if you are a fan of that type of comedy.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be maybe like a Centaur's Life kind of situation.
Yeah, like it's very abstract and meta and self-referential, and yeah, it's gonna be like one of those.
Yeah, but guys, if you're looking for, like, I don't know, some just I don't even know how to say Centaur's Life. I don't even know how to describe it.
Centaur's Life is like a category of its own. That was just an experience.
It's an experience. It's a very great one. Like, it literally leaves you being like, what the fuck just happened to me?
Yeah, go watch, I forget if it's called it's Daily Lives of Centaur.
Or Centaur's Life.
Centaur's Life. Yeah, go watch that. I feel bad because a lot of people are gonna see it and then scroll over it because it's just like, it looks like the most generic looking.
It does.
Cute girls doing cute things show.
And we're half animals or whatever. And then it thinks that it sucks you in, and it's like, oh, actually, totalitarianism.
Yeah, you can legitimately write a thesis on like politics just using the framing from that show.
You
could.
It's actually a solid reference.
So go check out Centaur's Life. It's really, really worth your time.
It is.
Right.
All right. Let's move on
to politics. We have
oh my god. We have Carole and Tuesday, episode 13. All right.
Give me those fiery takes.
I am so sorry in advance because it's gonna sound like I'm hating just for the sake of hating, and I promise you it is not that.
Can't be worse than your El-Melloi take. So.
And this ironically has very little to do with the actual anime itself, but yeah. So the ending song.
Oh, you're just gonna be contrarian now. Go ahead. You're such a contrarian.
I actually really liked it. It was good. I'm not saying it was bad. It just, for me, it just was very on the generic side. In the sense, it's very pretty, cool music with a nice beat that I would like I would put this same song and I could literally imagine me hearing it in like half of the American TV shows I watch.
It was still a really good song. So, do you prefer this? Wait, where do you rank it? Because Angela had two songs in this episode. She had the ending song, and she had her song in the episode. Which one do you prefer?
Oh, definitely the last song.
I see, like,
definitely the last song. I'm not that far gone. Definitely the last song I like more. Like, Breathe Again was just like, it was like, I'm singing, the end. Like, this song, I don't know, I feel like, but the ending song is like literally something I feel like people who are like, we just need to pick a random song that we're finding on Spotify by some up and coming artist. This song, okay, it's girls doing a song and she's singing and she'll like hit a nice note every now and then. It's good enough for me. Slap it in the episode.
Wow, that is a bad take.
But it's true. But it's true.
No, it is not. It's actually that ending song is better than the opening and the ending and opening from the first half of the series. That is by far the best intro outro song in the series.
Like, first of all, because I knew this was gonna make you upset when I said it. I made sure, because the first time I was kind of a little distracted when I was listening to it, so I listened to it to like a second time.
Mm-hmm.
And I first of all, I don't know. I prefer the first one for different reasons. Like the first one in my mind is actually it's like the opposite of this song. It is not a generic song. The composition of the first song is extremely interesting. It is extremely interesting.
You mean the opening?
I'm not
right?
the opening.
Yeah.
I'm not like musically trained, so I'm not even gonna try to give like the right terms or anything. But what I am, or I did for like a year or two, is do salsa dancing, or counting the beat is very important. And it's like the first opening, it's like it was so weird. It's like they would do like
it sounded
a count.
Beatles-esque, actually.
They would do a count. Yes, very Beatlesy. It would do a full count in my mind, and just like, or at least I would expect a full count, and just when I'm thinking it's over, it like extends a little, and then starts another count layers over it, and then like the first line ends, and then like the second count is still going, and then it just keeps doing that for a while. I'm like, what? Like, I had to listen to it like 3 times to understand what was happening. I was like, what is going on?
Okay,
with
I get
like,
that.
That's really cool.
I'll grant that to you. It was more technical, but you're becoming too much of a critic now. Like, which one is the better song on a technical standpoint? Probably the opening. But which one would I rather hear on a radio or like listen to? The ending song. That one.
The ending song, yeah. Okay. And I get that. I'm not saying it was. I'm once again not saying it was bad. I think it just boils down to a personal taste. Like I get it, Oni. You were definitely much like that kind of person. I can put like a nice white girl with a nice voice with a beat that won't literally kill you from boredom, and then I can just play that for like 10 songs straight, and you just be good. At least I could do that with your dad because he likes Katy Perry. So that is enough to prove my point.
I'm just saying it was a good song. I don't need no technical. Like it was like for me, Carole Tuesday's songs this episode were.
I actually like
bad.
Carole. I actually like their song. I like them more than.
It was alright.
Angela's.
I would not rank them higher than Angela's 2 songs. I take her ending first, then her insert song in the middle of the episode, and then Carole Tuesday's and song at the end of the episode.
What?
And then the opening.
So wow.
Sorry,
wow.
I'm rating these based on how good they sound, not like what's the composition behind these and how many beats per minute and blah 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 blah. In a way, I guess we could break this down as like I'm the typical person, like consumer, and you're like this.
Like
music connoisseur.
I've gotten to a point where like, which is why I'm surprised you like Breathe Again so much, because I'm like, that was boring to me. That was actually simple.
It was fun. It was a good song.
No, first of all, she has the audacity to name something that's already title taken by the iconic Toni Braxton.
I feel like it's probably just a reference.
Toni Braxton's Breathe Again was a million times better because Toni Braxton is no shade, a better singer than whoever is singing this song.
Oh,
but
man, you're such a hater. No.
It's not me being a hater. It's Toni Braxton.
Hipster hater. Everyone's like, oh, the ending song is great, and you're like, oh, but the beats in the opening song.
It's good. It's just very generic. I'm sorry. I like being stimulated by like good beats, and I'll say while the ending was simple, it was it was still pleasant. It still did like a good vibe, a good beat, nice vocals. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm still saying it's a good song. The one that she's saying, however, she didn't really do any range. She literally just like, I'm singing a song and my range isn't gonna go higher or lower. Still
And
singing
you know
a
what? I think
song.
I think where the disconnect here is like I'm not judging her vocal quality or whatever.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
not,
judging like obviously the Breathe Again song. I think it was that one where it was like heavily auto tuned in the background or whatever. Like it was more so the beat in the background was really catchy.
uh yeah, the back like the music was good. Like, it wasn't anything too like out there. Just I appreciate the fact that she switched up styles and she went for like a more like EDM
Yeah.
mish. That's the one thing I like about Angela. She's always mixes up her music, and Carole Tuesday unfortunately kind of have the same thing, but that's because there's like two people.
Mm.
But I like their song better because I actually like the message of their songs. Like, yeah, I like the message of their song, and I'm weak for harmonizing. I'm really just weak for harmonizing. You give me a good harmonizing goes such a long way, and I think that just that in itself kind of in my mind puts Angela at a slight disadvantage because it's just like her voice. So if she doesn't knock it out of the ballpark, which she does, which she has done before, there are definitely Angela songs I like more than some Carole Tuesday songs, but I don't know the song that she did this time, "Breathe Again." It was like the EDM beat is what carried her, and that was it. And for me, if the beat is the thing that's carrying you, it's like that alone, that's all you're doing, which is nothing why I like the opening. The opening, good vocals from because it's two of them singing. That plus the very intricate like beats that they had. That's why I like the opening so much, and that's why I didn't really care too much for Breathe Again.
All right. I just like good music. I
And
like catchy tunes.
that's
Like your
fine. There's
average
nothing
Joe.
exactly that's why they work so well. That's why. Well, I won't say pop is simple. I wouldn't go that far because I know they're like composing and producing music is like an art, but I feel like you can tell when there's something just like, oh, this is like complex, and this is a more simple like pop
It's
beat
like
that's been
because
done.
I'm more familiar with like the technicality of like books than I am with music, so I'm just gonna make like a book analogy. It's like I can appreciate a really well, like from a technical, artistic standpoint. Like you mentioned, sometimes I'll mention randomly Catcher in the Rye because that I think that's probably the book that stuck with me the most in high school. But like, if you were to tell me what's a better book, Catcher in the Rye or fucking I don't know, Negima, because I see the Negima manga, even though it's comparing a manga to a book, whatever. Which one is the better book? Catcher in the Rye. Which one would I rather read? I'd rather have a bullet through my head and pick up Catcher in the Rye and read it again. Because there's a difference between like technical prowess and complexity and just being entertaining. And it's rare that there's like a bridge where something can be technically sound and entertaining. So
It's not
it's not
impossible.
impossible. But
I
yeah,
think yeah,
I
I
grant you
think
that Angela's song is just like carried by the EDM beat in the back, and it's just like, oh, she doesn't have any range, and there's no technical. But like, if I'm in a club and that
yeah,
plays, I'm
like,
dancing to that.
and I can also agree if someone like listen, especially to like the beginning parts of the opening, they'd be like, "The fuck."
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I imagine that's what you was, because I was like that. I was like, wait, what's happening? And then once I listened to it a little bit more, I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, I don't know. I just thought that was very. It didn't. It's weird. It didn't seem like it was like doing something. I don't know. I feel like people think that like EDM,
Mhm.
like the EDM, would be more like, oh, this is something that's more complex because you hear all the womp womp womps and all that shit. But I don't know. I feel like maybe in reality, like what they did in the beginning was it was just a little more like if you caught it, it's a little more complex. And I don't know. I personally just appreciated that.
I
And
should have
I
known
like
you
I
were
said,
gonna like that song because you also don't like Face My Fears. So
wait, was that another song by?
that's the Kingdom Hearts 3 song with Skrillex and
Oh, mind you, it's not that I hate dubstep or anything. It's just like
really because it sounds like you do.
no, it's just it's first of all they put a lot of dubstep in K-pop, and that does not make me hate it. But it's just you have to be very careful in how you do it because if you don't do it, you don't transition to it well. It's just like, oh my god, face my paper, and I'm just like, no,
It's called a
I don't
drop.
want that. I don't. It just felt very much like oil and water, and Face and My Fears specifically, it just felt like oil and water for me. It was just like very like uncomfortable mixing of genres. I just think they just could have did it better. It literally felt like something. It felt like literally in my home, went on Vegas Pro, took Face My Fears by itself, took any Skrillex song, and said, "Okay, let me just layer the two over." Like it didn't feel like it just felt like that. It just felt like a very amateurish like mixing of the two. And boom, whoop, that's our song now. And like,
Well, let's actually talk about the episode because it's been
yeah,
like
let's do
15
that.
minutes and we even say
I told you we
what
were
the
going
episode's
to have a
about.
huge contention about it.
Um, so yeah, this episode basically picked up. It kind of feels like a season 2. Like it really does feel like a part
Yeah,
2 of the
it
series
really
because
does.
the whole setting is different now. They're trying to get signed by a label, and they appear on the Allen Show.
The Allen show. So I didn't feel a need to like show like, oh well, this is the anime where they show a bunch of because they always do pop culture references.
Hmm.
I just thought doing the Allen show was very funny.
Even the font looks like the same font from Ellen. So
Yeah, it's literally everything about it is literally the same. Also, I told this is the first time I actually liked Tuesday's outfit.
does she wear something
Like
different? I didn't even notice.
it was still exact, which was my whole point with her. Like you literally, I think I could tell you that I could lie to you and and tell you that she wore the same thing for like
Mhm.
12 episodes straight, and you really couldn't challenge me on it because it all looks the same. But this time, I think I found. First of all, she was wearing a very brighter color. It wasn't like something washed out, like a fucking light blue or white or white or white or white. This time it was like I think it was like an orange
Mhm.
question mark, and she had a hat, a matching hat to go with the dress, so she looked really cute.
Carol must have dressed her that day.
Yeah, right. Um, I think I liked it more than Carol's outfit even. Um, but yeah, so and they talk about the whole thing, and it was really like you see that they're really like adjusting to their fame.
Hmm.
I love when they make
Tuesday's having
the
trouble with that.
yeah when they misspeak about Angela. They're like, "Oh, you see her as a rival?" Like, "Oh, I didn't even see her as a rival." And I'm just like,
Yikes.
"Acha." I'm surprised when they met with Angela. Angela didn't just like I don't know punch them in their faces.
Yeah. The fuck you say about me?
Douse some more liquid nitrogen on them.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think they cut to Angela. Like Angela was out here already getting them coins, releasing
Hmm.
her single "Breathe Again." Um, is that before? No, that's not. They don't get their.
They they don't get their label or contract
Yeah,
signed.
they don't get their contract signed because what's his face fucks it up for them. Gus.
Gus. He wants to give them more creative freedom, so I
Yeah,
respect
I
him.
know. Yeah, I can respect him for that. He's like, yeah, they. I can definitely expect Simon Cowell, female Simon Cowell, to just like try to make them like poppy or something.
Hmm.
Like basically doing to them what that one label company did to Lady Gaga in that movie. I forgot what it's called. It came out this year, super popular. For the shallow, shallow, low, low, like that. Yeah,
Mm.
I remember the name of the movie. But anyways, like Lady Gaga's character was also like, I do songs on piano and guitar, and then literally she did a pop song like, "Why you doing? Why you doing? Why you doing like that?" Like, mind you, that song's actually really catchy. I really was mad about it. um, yeah, so I can also respect him for hanging on to his integrity and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Uh, so yeah, let's talk about the old man who was quite obviously Carol's father.
Oh damn! I thought I was gonna surprise you with my prediction there.
How would that be a surprise?
I was gonna be like, oh, I think it's Carol's father, and I was fully anticipating you to be like, oh no, there's no way.
No, I feel like I would be surprised. I literally would be surprised if that wasn't his father. Wasn't her father? Excuse me.
Oh no,
literally looks, literally looks like her. Same skin complexion, everything.
They couldn't have thrown it in your face harder because I think that scene happened right after the scene where Carol's all like, "Oh, my family," or like gets told that her family's looking for her or something.
No, it's
like around that. Is it before?
It's before that. Yeah, it's before. Yeah, they watch Angela get her single, and then it cuts to them being laundromat. And then it's like, hey, I'm having a problem with this washing machine. And she's like, hey, I'm out of town? And he's like, yeah.
And he also like looks shocked by her, but not in the same way where it's like, oh, are you Carol from Carole Tuesday? He was kind of like, oh, shit.
Exactly. Like, his reaction to her just gave literally everything away.
Yeah.
Which I guess I'm not too mad about. I don't really care, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. This is not the type of show where I'm gonna expect like a M. Night Shyamalan level twist at the end or anything. So they want to introduce him now, and I'm sure they're gonna build him up, and he's gonna have other appearances and stuff, and help them.
Yeah, which he does in this episode because a bunch of assholes literally just start going around fucking Tuesday because Tuesday apparently just has the whole I can't speak, like I'm super non-confrontational to the point where it's an actual detriment every time.
I find it funny that everyone is after Tuesday. Like no one gives a shit about Carole. Everyone is just thirsty for Tuesday.
I feel bad for Tuesday because they try that shit with Carole. Carole be like, "Fuck off!" like every time. But apparently Carole's dad knew Akira and fucked that dude up. So shout out to Papa Carole. Or
Papa Carole.
Yeah, right? Fuck, I'm actually gonna call him that from now on.
Papa Carole. But yeah, we get the whole Gus rejecting the you know what we should talk about? We should talk about the platform for Tuesday's mother. She's running on.
Oh yeah, so he thought she was Hillary Clinton. Turns out she's actually Trump.
Mm-hmm. She's Trump wearing Clinton mask.
Yeah, right. Essentially,
there's a great irony in the fact that she wants to kick out the illegal immigrants from Mars, when I'm pretty sure you're not native to Mars either.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. I'm like, it's such a shame because she can at least. I wish they didn't make her such an obvious bad guy. I wish she could have just been like,
more ambiguous.
I'm trying to do what's right, but I'm also a horrible political machine that's trying to like cage my daughter. Like that little balance would have been fine. No, just like, no, I'm an asshole person with asshole priorities.
It's just hate me. Like I'm waiting for the episode where she just kicks a puppy or something walking across her path.
Yeah, like punches a porter in the face or something.
Steals a coin jar from a poor person.
No, you're not from Martian. Give me that. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, Angela definitely is just like, oh my god. Like she's doing like the bitchy rival thing, which I can respect. I like it. Yeah. Like she's not being like outward, like just super bitchy, like for no reason, but she's like
She's not like a tsundere rival. She's just like, aren't you gonna do your best to beat me, baka?
Yeah, she's like, go hurry up and debut already so I can like crush you, bitch. Like, I'm like, oh, I can dig that. Nice little.
See, she's a better example of an ambiguous character because she's definitely haughty and the rival, but she also has her really good side too.
Exactly. Yeah, she is definitely a better version of an ambiguous character. I agree. So without this offer, they look for a producer because they need someone to produce their music. So they go to what I can only imagine. I could only call literally like third world country level, like
the slums of the slums.
I don't even think I'm like. Can you even call those slums? Like,
well, it's literally just like shacks on top of each other and like no street signs or no roads or anything.
The kids out here literally trying to steal from Carole Tuesday. They're the worst, like, bad guys. I'm not bad guys. The worst thieves, by the way. They're just like
just run up on her and steal her things.
I'm just like, if it wasn't me, I would just really start kicking them. Like, nope, boop, boop, boop.
So you gotta teach these kids how to steal better. You gotta send like a group of people to do that, and then you have like a bunch of people sneak up behind them and steal their wallets. That's how you steal from people.
Exactly. Gosh, that was just they're trying a little too hard to like imply like, oh, this is a really fucking bad area.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I remember, I think someone or maybe someone was trying to say that like this was like a mirror of like New York City. I'm like, okay, in most places I can tell when they're trying to like recreate the Bronx, and I'm just like, that is not the Bronx. That is not even like the South Bronx on its worst day.
Yeah. That's I don't even know. That's like fictional poverty world.
That's like the worst of the worst, like in third world countries where like
that's like a commercial you see where it's like, please donate now to save these children's lives.
Word, like it's it's very terrible living conditions. But then they're like, let's show them up with the power of music, and then they play their song, which I personally liked because once again, it was like
it was alright.
It was a song about like, oh, this is about the two of us, army of two. And I'm like, oh, I like that thing about themselves.
Two of us.
Yeah, I can't.
If we try.
It's like that song, but not as
good.
Yeah.
Will Smith cameo when?
Okay, that's not Will Smith's song.
He did a remake of it.
Yes, he did a cover. Still not his song.
The better version.
No, it's not. He did not Whitney Houston that song.
I think he did. But let's not open more debates here.
Right. Like my throat's already dry and I'm coughing already from lack of water and just talking too long. Yeah, the episode ends essentially with the only thing that I can relate to with the South Bronx is some dude who was cracked out of his mind. Literally just like, okay, well, swinging the axe. Well, may not have an axe, but swinging an axe everywhere, and that's supposed to be their producer. Oh yeah, that's our producer. That's whatever. I don't remember his fucking name. All I know is, Toby. And then it's just like, okay, do we have to like get him clean off drugs first?
No, that's how he produces.
Is the next episode we get him into detox and convince him like, hey, how about you stop doing cocaine and make music for us?
Is it really, really bad that I kind of would love if the next episode was Tuesday finds his cocaine stash and thinks it's like sugar or something, and then gets super high, and then the whole episode is Tuesday really fucked up.
Bitch, that would literally be my episode of the week.
Exactly.
Just for that. I'm like, oh, sorry, Lord El-Melloi. Sorry again, but come on. Did your anime have like the MC getting high on crack? I don't think so.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's a great comeback for Carole Tuesday. We had
I would say so.
Fun time both watching it and discussing it. So let's move on to our final show of the week, which is Fruits Basket. episode 15.
15.
I'm way advanced. I'm way ahead of the game right now.
The Jason joke in the first few minutes is really funny.
Mm-hmm. It's a bear.
I love that. Yeah, and you're like, oh, who's Jason? A bear? And I'm like, I love how they reference it when they actually see a bear print.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh my gosh, Jason!
And Yuki just calls out Carol like, you don't even know what Jason is. He's a fictional movie character. I don't care about a fictional bear.
Yeah. This is a good episode.
Really? I feel like not much happened, though. It was just like a whatever kind of...
Okay, yeah, no. It's like, it was very whatever, but... On the other hand, I did like it. Like, I didn't care for it too much when Kyo and Yuki were like very like, meh, we're in the slumps.
Mm-hmm.
Where that I didn't really care for because it's like, okay, they're off ever since visiting Toru's mom's grave for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe I was too busy eating.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch it. But I still kind of don't know the reason.
I don't either. I don't know if they were explicit about it.
Yeah, so that didn't really make much sense to me. Didn't care for that. But once, like, the whole bear thing, and then tripping and falling, and then Aya comes...
Mm-hmm. To save the episode.
Yeah, like, once all that happens, it's great. So, like, the first 5 to maybe 10-ish minutes...
Yeah, it was really slow and kind of just like...
Very, like, dragged a little, but once them transforming, them fighting again, like, just from that point on, it just, boom, like, the rest of the episode is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree
really
with that. Kind of slow start, but picked up towards the end, especially when Aya showed up, who is becoming one of my favorite characters. I don't know, I kind of really love all of the Zodiacs. They did a really good job of making the Zodiac characters. I don't think there's any that I dislike.
Same. They're very unique in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like, because it's like, it takes a lot to make all of these men, like, into different, very specific characters. And they don't feel like tropes either.
Yeah,
they're very specific characters.
They're very fleshed out, too. Like, first off, I love Shigeru's pranks on his editor, when she's just, like, freaking out over the phone. That was a great scene.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, that was really funny.
That was great. But no, I like their depth of their characters. So even like characters like Aya and Shigure have like this level of complexity to them that I really appreciate. So.
Oh my god, yeah, I love an Aya and Shigure together because they keep making like the gay jokes. Like, that's so fun. And even when the three of them are talking about fucking what's his face, Hattori's like ex-fiance getting remarried, or not getting married. Mm-hmm. And then, Aya gets like mad about it.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a good scene.
Right?
I feel bad for Hattori. Rip Hattori.
Me too. And he was like, listen, I don't really want to see her because I know it's never going to work. Mm. But all I can do is pray for her happiness. And then they're like, no, but you can be happy, stupid. And I was like, no, you can be happy, stupid. Just be happy.
Be happy, damn it. All these people just need some love in their life. Sucks to be in the Soma family. Mm-hmm. If there's anything this anime is doing a good job of, it's just conveying the fact that the Soma family just sucks, and everybody and being a part of it just sucks horribly.
It's actually the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love how like at the end where they're like, hey, where I thought he's like, hey, this care and emotion you show for me, you should show for your brother, and then he's like, 5 minutes later, you should obey me. And then Nuki's like, bitch.
What
and
the fuck did you just say to me?
Just clocks him. That was funny.
You're right. I enjoy Aya more in these little short bursts type of like where he shows up like for the last half of the episode. Mm-hmm. He works a lot better than when he has a whole episode dedicated to himself.
Yeah. Also, you find out at the end that awesome teacher, the great Mayuko Sama Sensei, she's actually revealed to be Kana's friend, and was there at the wedding. So I'm just like, ooh, how's that going to fit in everything? They wouldn't just show that for nothing.
Yeah, that's...
With Baskets isn't that kind of show.
Yeah, there's gonna be some kind of plot point there.
The fact that she's their teacher is just like, ooh,
it all comes full circle.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that little connection.
Maybe I'll marry the teacher.
Nani?
But yep. Overall, pretty just decent episode of Fruits Basket. At least it wasn't super overly dramatic like the last time.
Agreed.
So, guys, if you enjoyed this really long episode of G&A Podcast, and you'd like to see me and Drew go at each other because of Drew's bad taste and inability to read into a situation, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you can catch this every week. You have to let go of that note sometime. You're not Whitney Houston. And follow us on Twitter. And join the Party Word Discord. And do all that good stuff. If you want to go the extra mile, you can donate to us on Patreon, like all these lovely peoples up on screen right now. And Drew, do you have any digs to take before we sign out?
Nothing. I'm going to take the high road and be the better person, as always.
I will leave it at that then and not throw any more shade. This has been Soberoni, and
Doobie-doo.
we'll catch you next week. Later.
Bye.